think the biggest change that impacted general SBA lending, this is almost non-existent in acquisitions. I don't know if everybody's familiar with the term MCA loans. They're merchant cash advances.
Okay.
And effectively, I used to see them a long time ago that a restaurant would use them. So effectively what they do is they borrow against their weekend's credit card receipts to pay for their inventory. They'd have their normal weekend, they'd pay it off on Monday. Hopefully they don't need to keep that cycle much, but when you had a short-term cash, they'd basically say, all right, your credit card receipt average is this, we're going to lend you this, we know you're going to pay us back, we're going to charge you an exorbitant interest rate to do it. It's like short-term bridge financing.
Yeah.
Somewhere over the last couple of years, that went from what I just described to any business can get these loans if you can prove revenue. And they don't, the way it would work is you'd say you're a $1.2 million business, so you're $100,000 a month of revenue. We'll give you a $100,000 loan. It shows up as a $140,000 loan. So whether you pay us back over the next year, which we pull money out of your checking account every week, or you pay us off the next week, you owe us 140 grand. I don't know if 40 is the right number, but that's how it worked. So what you found was you had a lot of people. I didn't see requests for these loans 2 years ago. Over the last year, I was probably getting about once to sometimes 3 times a week somebody calling asking to refinance MCA loans. It became a very common loan. And like a lot of things, I think it had a good, it's kind of like subprime lending and mortgages back in the day. When done the way it was originally probably designed to do, it actually filled the void, but it was done 99 out of 100 times a different way. So they killed the ability to refinance MCA loans. That was kind of the biggest shift. That doesn't impact a lot of larger businesses, but that industry was booming with people doing these types of loans. And I think what the SBA, if I was seeing that level of volume, the SBA was probably seeing just hundreds, if not thousands a week and going, what the hell are these things? Where are these? And I'm pretty confident you would have seen a community of certain types of brokers who would have gone, hey, do this loan.
Yeah.
I'll get you the cash quick.
And I'll refi it.
Talk to this SBA lender and they'll refinance it and become the taxpayer's risk, not mine.
Yeah.
That wasn't stated, but I think that's the way that'll be a pretty interesting thing to see shake out, because that kicked in June 1. So if you didn't have the loan approved and in closing and have an authorization number by June 1, it's no longer eligible.
Interesting.
Generally, I feel like just this is anecdotal, no background to this. If you're familiar with the pari passu loan, where you
can explain it.
Yeah, so a pari passu loan is often used to get above the $5 million cap, and what it simplistically, pari passu, I believe, means side by side. You could do a loan for $5 million through the SBA and a conventional loan, typically lower, say $2.5, $3 million. You're buying a business for 10. You put down $1 million, you get $1 million seller note. You have a $5 million SBA and a $3 million pari passu loan. That pari passu loan is a conventional loan that the bank keeps on its balance sheet. It became very common in a lot of the search fund space and in a lot of it's difficult to finance a business for an acquisition, especially with limited collateral, between about $1.5 million and probably about 5 million of EBITDA. Once you get above 5, you can get conventional leverage. Below $1.5 million, you're typically under the cap, but there's definitely a donut hole in lending there for how to bridge that size difference. And pari passu loans were doing that. I have seen a lot of lenders pull back on that, though. I'm going to guess they took some hits, or the capital allocation requirements went up or something like that. So I believe it's going to be more difficult outside of manufacturing now. I think you're going to see it's more difficult to finance a $7 or $8 million up to $10 million purchase.